Hey guys, welcome back. First of all, I'd like to give a big thanks to everyone who watched my review of the Marvels. In just a short amount of time, it has become one of my most successful videos ever. At the end of that video, I said that my next video would be my review of the latest entry in the Hunger Games franchise, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I'm quite a new fan to this series, but that doesn't change how much I love those original films. They were gritty, emotional, and had something to say. So, how does this new film compare? The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is by far the best Hunger Games film. It has great lessons about how power and wealth can twist you, and portrays them in an interesting way that makes you root for the guy who went on to cause so much violence. This is all thanks to some amazing source material from Suzanne Collins. When I first got this book, I was immediately interested in this new lore for the series. I was hooked. Even though I loved it so much and kept reading and reading, it took me 3 days to read this entirely because it was so long. That was what worried me about the film adaptation, being able to cram all of the amazing storytelling into a 2-hour and 40-minute movie. Honestly, it could have been adapted into a multiple-season TV show in the vein of House of the Dragon or Rings of Power. The movie was still able to tell the story well, but it was forced to cut out a lot of scenes, some quite pivotal. The person who suffers the most because of this is Clemensia. Ashley Lau's character is a student at the academy, whose lies to Dr. Gaul end with snake bites all over her body. This was quite a thrilling scene in the movie, but afterwards we never saw her again. This is quite different to in the books, where we see the effect this has on Clemensia. She escapes her hospital room to see Snow, and she is covered in rainbow snake-like scales. This is important for Snow, as this is when he truly realizes the brutality of Dr. Gaul. It is also one of the cracks in his good boy foundation, as he promises to visit her, but he gets too obsessed with winning and forgets. She then gets back for the game's viewing, and is of course hostile to Snow because of this, but they become friends again through the shared bonding of being mentors. I wish they could have split this film into 2 parts so Clemensia got more screen time. Another big change is multiple of the tributes' deaths. In the book, it is Wovey who is poisoned by Lucy Gray, not Dill. I think they changed this because if Lucy Gray killed Wovey in the movie, she would be irredeemable. There was also a really epic scene in the books where one of the tributes from the technology district hacks into the drones and builds a mech armor, which would have been really cool. Also, originally only 2 people died from the snakes, but in this film 5 people do. The final 2 is also different. In the book, Lucy runs Reaper to death, but in the movie it is Coral who makes it to the final 2, but she is also just eaten by snakes. It's unusual for so many changes, but I still think all the deaths were quite effective. Even though quite a bit was changed, the film's still very similar to the book. Some scenes were ripped straight from the source material to the screen. It was so cool seeing what I had visualized from reading actually in front of me, but also to see some stuff different to how I originally interpreted it. Now, let's talk characters, starting with Coriolanus Snow. Tom Blyth perfectly portrays this character's descent into madness. It is an effective villain origin story that adds more layers to his hatred for mockingjays and of course the Hanging Tree song. Sometimes it was hard to root for him, but that's what you really want in a character like Snow. As for the star of the show, Rachel Zegler's Lucy Gray Baird, I thought she was amazing. At first, her country accent was awful and annoying, but I soon got used to it and enjoyed her performance. She was so down-to-earth yet theatrical in a way that Katniss couldn't be. As Rachel said perfectly, Lucy is a performer forced to fight, and Katniss is a fighter forced to perform. And perform she did, with some excellent musical numbers. Nothing You Can Take From Me got me dancing in my seat. It was astounding how powerful and controlled Rachel's voice is. This was also shown excellently in The Old There Before. The power and beauty of her voice was inspiring and left me in awe. It's sad to see the hate Rachel is getting, as she has potential to be one of the next great performers of all time. I felt like there was a bit of a downgrade with Lucy Gray's ending here compared to the book. It is left more ambiguous in the books, which honestly I preferred, but in the movie it's very clear she got away. Also, I wish the Mockingjays sang for a little longer and brought Snow to the ground. I could visualise that moment so well in the book, so I was a bit disappointed that it was cut short. Another standout in this film was Viola Davis's Dr. Gaul. She was deliciously evil. You could see very well how much she had influenced Snow and the man he will eventually become. Rachel Zegler's boyfriend Josh Andrus Rivera portrayed Sejanus very well. He was just how I imagined him in the book. He was gentle, noble, and couldn't stand for the brutality and unfairness the capital inflicted onto the districts. My major gripe is the omission of his ma, because she was such a sweetheart in the book. Similar to Sejanus, Hunter Schaefer's Tigris was such a kind soul. You could sense her protectiveness and worry about her younger cousin. It's heartbreaking as she witnesses her cousin's transformation into a villain. Jason Schwartzman's Lucky Flickerman was as hilarious as he was crude. He made some absolutely wild jokes that I felt bad about cackling at. He reminded me a lot of his in-universe son Caesar Flickerman. The final character I'd like to talk about is Dean Casca Highbottom, played by Peter Dinklage. He was quite bland and stoic and didn't have much to do, but hey, he did his job. Something that was distracting while watching this movie was the editing. It was at some points choppy, and there was multiple scenes cut short. This is probably because originally the movie had an almost 4-hour runtime that had to be chopped, and in order to include all the plot points, they had to only include small fractions of scenes. Another issue is the fact that this movie felt like two movies. Only a niche section of the internet will get this reference, but it almost had the Monster High scare us effect. It felt like the movie ended when the Hunger Games did, and then its sequel was in District 12. Maybe 2 parts would have been a better choice. Overall, this movie was great. It faithfully adapted a great book with some changes that didn't bring it down. It has fun, great musical numbers, and tells a compelling story with great themes. I'll give it a 9 out of 10, which is just slightly higher than the Marvels' ranking. Looks like November is a great month for new movies. That was my review for The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you'd like to see me review next. Have a great day!